Well, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today want to revisit Oinkologne EX now that we have 151 out. It makes Oinkologne a little bit tankier, just 10 HP tankier, but it could make a big difference. If you recall, Oinkologne EX is a stage 1. It's from Scarlet and Violet base set, 260 HP, supposed to be tanky, although, like I said at the time, it's still kind of wondered that going on. 260 is not that tanky, but now we will reduce that damage by each attack by 30 with Rigid Band instead of 20, which was from, I think, Full Faced Mask, if I have it remembering the name correctly. So with that extra 30 damage reduction, you have to hit 290 to one-shot it, and obviously 280 is the number that is the target generally, so we may survive a hit by 10 HP. That's really what we're looking for, and then we could heal off with. We'll get into the, we play some Cheryl to do some healing. So Maddening Scent for 1 energy does 10 damage plus 30 more for each opponent's bench Pokemon, and then we have Heavy Stomp for 3 energy does 210. Flip a coin if tails. You can't attack the next turn. Our retreat cost is 2. You could retreat and send something else up from the bench, obviously, or play a switch card. So just playing a 4/4 Oinkologne line, and then the engine, keeping it the same as it was before, because it's a nice, simple engine, a 2/2 Bibarel and 1 Skwovet, right? Skwovet, Nest Dash, once during your turn, you may shuffle your hand, put it on the bottom of your deck. If you do that, then you draw 1 card. So you take your hand, you play out whatever card you have, boom, get rid of the hand, and then draw 1 card, which then sets you up nicely for Bibarel's Industrious Incisors that you draw till you have 5 cards in hand. Because obviously the one downside to Bibarel, for as the game goes on, if you don't have a way to empty out your hand, not really drawing cards in if you have big hand sizes. So Bibarel and Skwovet is a very nice partnership there. Switched up the energies a little bit, but let's see. I don't remember the exact differences, but playing 4 DTE, I think I played that before as well, provides 2 energy, which helps obviously pay for the Heavy Stomp attack there. Because it's 2, it does reduce the damage by 20. But then I play 4 V-Guard energy. V Pokemon, of course, are dropping in significance of the game, but we still just need 1 colorless energy, basically, to use the first attack, which is what we're really leaning onto. And then you take 30 less damage from Pokemon V, and again, we're trying to be tanky, so it just makes sense. And then have Jet Energy, which wasn't in the set when Scarlet and Violet was out, because it came out in Paldea Evolved after that. But it's a colorless, which again is we're colorless attackers, and then you switch from the bench to the active, and so it's a free switch option in the deck as well. So like that, I think I played some Gift Energy before, dropped that from the deck probably for the Jet Energy. Getting into the trainers, like I said, Rigid Band. I'm playing 3 copies of Rigid Band. I don't play Choice Belt, just 3 Rigid Band because I'm trying to be tanky. The stage 1 this card is attached to takes 30 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon, so that's obviously 30 is 10 more than the full face guard. Let me take a look. Make sure I have it right. Full face guard. Yep. So as long as it doesn't have abilities, so it didn't matter on stage, but no abilities, which Oinkologne does not have that. All right. So it's kind of a walling tanky deck. So to help, we play 2 Cheryl. Might want to play a 3rd Cheryl. Maybe cut my Pal Pad or something. There's a lot of supporters. So we're drawing into supporters pretty consistently, which is good, right? Helps us set up and keep things going, right? With Cheryl, if you're not familiar with it, you heal all damage from each of your evolution Pokemon. If you do, you discard all energy from each of the Pokemon that were healed in this way. So boom, if they can't one-shot Oinkologne, they get Oinkologne down to 10 HP, they're saying, all right, I'll finish it off next turn for sure. Boom, toss away all the damage. Toss away the energy too, but we can attack for 1 energy, so it's not a bad option there. We also play Path to the Peak because we're just trying to disrupt, make things tough for our opponent. Path to the Peak was certainly effective when this came out, and it's probably even more effective now with Pidgeot EX and Charizard EX. So the full set of 4 Path to the Peak. So we should get this to stick before the game is done. All right, Pokemon Search. We're playing 4 level balls because all of the basics are less than a 90 or 90 HP or less, and therefore level ball is better than nest ball. It's one of the things. And originally, some of these deck lists, I was playing nest ball that puts a basic onto the bench. But if they're low HP Pokemon, level ball is better because it gives the option of putting into hand as well. So I think level ball is a little upgrade there, just being a little smarter than the list that way. For Ultra Ball, we need to get those Oinkologne into our hand as well as the Bibarel, so discard 2 cards from hand, search for any Pokemon you want, so super good there. Let's just get through. So for Judge, again, Disruption. Judge is really good early game. Each player goes down to 4 cards in hand, so just making life difficult. Path Judge, a strong strategy. We're playing 3 Escape Rope, not playing any Switch, but Escape Rope, again, disrupting, making life tough for your opponents. 2 Iono. Iono, as the game goes on, is better in terms of disruption, as your opponent takes prize cards, they draw less cards into hand when you play this. So 4 Judge, because we want that earlier. 2 Iono, it's better late game, although you do see more cards earlier, so it does have its value early game as well. But we're really trying to disrupt our opponent too, because we're not one-shotting much. So we're just making life difficult for our opponent. 2 Bosses Orders, of course, very good. The 2 Pal Pad, I think I mentioned that already. Recover each one. You recover up to 2 supporters from your discard pile into your deck. So do you need more Cheryls? Boom, toss them in. You need more Boss? Boom, toss them in. Gives us some flexibility there for recovering things. Keeping thick lines of the cards like Judge and Colress Experiment that get us cards because we need that draw engine going. So like I mentioned, the Colress Experiment, right? Look at the top 5 cards in deck, 3 of them in your hand, 2 in the lost zone. Really good way just to dig through your deck. I like that in a lot of decks, and I think it makes sense here. And then 4 Cheren's Care, going with the Cheren's Care over Cheryl. Cheren's Care, you put one of your colorless Pokemon that has damage counters on it into your hand, as well as all attached cards. So we're not discarding the energy, and that's a plus, right? Because we can't recover that special energy. So Cheren's Care is almost always better than Cheryl. Cheryl can heal multiple Pokemon, so that could be a benefit for us. But Cheren's Care is usually the prime thing we want to do. So if we have the basic Lechonk on the bench, we have the Oinkologne EX in the active. The Oinkologne EX gets damaged but knocked out. Play Cheren's Care, scoop up the Oinkologne as well as the Lechonk with it, and the whatever energy it had. Promote the Lechonk into the active, evolve it with the Oinkologne EX that we have in hand because we just pulled it up, attach an energy to it, which of course we have because we just put that into our hand as well with Cheren's Care, and play down the Lechonk, so we're all set for the next turn. So it's a very nice little combo. The Cheren's Care just keeps things chugging along with the Skwovet Bibarel engine. We should be hitting what we want pretty consistently. So it's a pretty straightforward deck. It hasn't changed much. I've tweaked the list a little to make it better, but of course we are taking that 10 extra less damage on our Rigid Band. I do like it. Let's see what we can do with the deck now. All right, let's see what we can do this game. Looking for a game that shows what this deck does. It's just been a very ugly series of games. Some of it, look, Oinkologne's not the best deck. It wasn't the best deck before. As that extra Rigid Band, it helps. It helps, but I don't think it's the best thing around. Obviously, the list could be tweaked. Obviously, every list can be tweaked, but probably it could be improved through some tweaking. All right, my opponent's choosing for me to go first, so we'll see a Lost Zone deck or a... All right, well, I'm taking a mulligan anyway, unfortunately. Okay. So, Lechonk. The question is, can they knock me out, right? And I don't know the answer to that, obviously. Well, that's not the start they wanted, for sure. So I'm going to... I guess I get rid of the healing cards. Keep Colress for next turn. I'm going to toss down. I'm going to go. I'm going to assume I'm not getting knocked out. If I get knocked out, well, I just I just kind of lose. I kind of tend to take that approach to some of these games. Maybe it's not good on my part, but it is kind of how I approach these games. So just end turn there. I have Oinkologne. I have Colress. So if it's a very solid set of cards. I could even swing into a third energy attaching actually does give some value too. It right, because then I can do the big attack. Once they bench 2 Pokemon, then I'm doing 70, so I one-shot the Manaphy at that point. They don't need Manaphy, so if they need to set up a turn, leaving that Manaphy there is good. Okay, so Pidgey, Arceus. So the nice thing here is I need to get Path in play. I need to get Path to stick. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, I need Path. So okay, they're getting things. They're getting a nice setup here. They're getting a nice turn one. I'm not sure whether I want to go second though. Right. So though this is it. This is he evolved the Meowscarada EX. Is that what it is? The one that pings 30 when you discard an energy. But again, evolution, evolution, evolution. 4 evolutions. I don't, playing Karenas. Okay, I don't quite get the. So I want to Colress because I need Path. I need Path, and I missed Path again. Oh wait, I can get. All right, so all right, so Lechonk and probably gonna toss these cards away, right? But okay, so I have knockout here. I need Path. I need Path, so I gotta maximize Path, which means that's the play, right? So I'll get to a 0 card hand. What's the Path situation? How many in deck? I have all 4. Okay, 4. I don't know the odds exactly, but the odds aren't terrible. I obviously I just need 1, and that needs to stick. But I've got once again I missed Path again. All right, you know what? Do I have Skwovet? I don't have Skwovet in deck either. Okay, so that's. I mean, that's probably game. These Arceus decks. Oh man, it's rough. It's really rough. All right, I'm doing this partly to thin at this point. I'm gonna kind of toss down a bunch of Pokemon. 140. Okay, so I take the first prize, but I needed to get Path down. I feel like I'm getting unlucky in Path. Maybe I'm not. With 4 Path, and I'm digging decently through my deck, right? Like, right. I played Colress, so that's 5 cards, and then I barreled for a full hand, right? That's 10 cards I've seen. Yeah. So the question is, do they get the V-Star? Do they get Arceus V-Star? They probably do, right? There's a lot of outs to that. Arceus V-Star sets them up. I guess I can still come back with Path later. Obviously, Path this turn is really what I needed. I want a Path before they get set up. That's what I want to do. We'll see. Maybe I'm getting really lucky. Maybe I am. Hasn't felt lucky thus far for me. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so they didn't get what they wanted at all there. So I'm going to. I think I'm going to Cheryl this guy, right? So I need to thin my hand down, right? That's partly what I need to do. So I'll Cheryl. I'll heal. I lose my energy. I could Pal Pad. I want to play this Oinkologne, right? Until I need Path, right? I need Path, so I'm going to toss both these cards. I'll grab the Oinkologne, just maximizing my odds of hitting the Path. So I see 5 cards. I don't get to a 0 card hand. I'd like an energy. Path is actually more important than energy here. So, and again, I miss Path. That is just awful. I'm pretty sure I don't have. I think I'm missing. I'll just play this. It doesn't. Right, there's nothing there. I was pretty certain that was the case. So I have all 4 paths in deck. I keep not hitting paths. Sorry, I'm getting fussy about it here, but I keep bricking very bad. I'm through over half my deck, right? 25 cards left in deck. I've got 14 in the discard pile, 2 in the loss zone. That's 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, you know, the odds, I should have hit path by now, right? If I had hit path, it's a whole different game. I mean, the path still helps after this, right? And my opponent obviously was unlucky too. I gotta, I gotta be fair. My opponent was unlucky not getting Arceus up sooner. Right, the odds, right? The odds were they should have gotten off Arceus last turn. The odds were also I should have gotten path down by now too. So they get Pidgeot, makes sense. They get to use it once, but then I'm going to shut him down, hopefully, and keep him shut down. That's what I need to. That's what needs to happen. They haven't done a good job getting through their deck, but that's because they struggled to set up. So I'm feeling fussy. I'll acknowledge that. It's I'll probably jet energy into Oinkologne. Finish off the Arceus, I think. Get down path. So path shuts down Radiant Alakazam too, which is important too. Because they're gonna they want to ping the energy, move it around. They could be getting a stadium bump, obviously, and they obviously have stadium bumps. We'll see what happens here. So Iono, I did like the jet energy. Now, let's see what I draw into. Hit path, hit 2 path, because just so the game can mock me there. So I'll probably play path. I'll probably play level ball because I want to shuffle the deck because I do want to. I want to get jet energy back, right? Or Cheren's Care, of course, would be terrific too. All right, I guess they're gonna retreat, and so I want path. I want to shuffle things. There's nothing there for me. I think I want to Iono and jet energy. I could thin my hand a little more and use Bibarel and try to get something to get the Oinkologne out of the active. All right, got the jet energy. That's what I wanted. So I'm happy camper. And I'll Bibarel for 1 industrial incisors. All right, Cheren's Care, that's really good too. That's what I want for next turn. So 160. So I knock them out. We'll see what happens here. So up by 3 prizes. So now in a solid shot. Okay, those are great cards there. So I can double Bibarel, and I have Skwovet, so I can start really drawing through the deck as I want. Hopefully path sticks, right? If path sticks, I'm going to win this game. That's kind of how I look at things, right? Path sticks, I win the game. Path doesn't stick. I still, even if they bump path, they've got to get rid of path and keep path out of play for a while. So at this point, I have 4 paths, 1 in hand. I have 19 cards, 2 paths in that 19 cards. So even if I get, like, I Iono'd here, I get 3 cards back. I draw for turn. I have a Bibarel to play. I now have my other Bibarel and my Skwovet in deck. The fact that I burned at least some level balls along the way means I have less outs to get that Skwovet back, unfortunately. But it was still, I needed to level ball. I think that 1 turn to shuffle the deck, if I recall, if I'm right in what I remember, if I'm remembering things correctly. If that's what I did, I might have gotten, I'm getting my games jumbled up too at this point, I will say. So I don't think they're going to bump path. Now, I obviously don't one-shot them. So I might want to Cheren's Care. Okay, so they have the free retreat. They're just sending up him to get knocked out, which makes sense because he doesn't really help them at this point. They can only do 1. Okay, so Medichan V, that's good to get him out of the way. So are they going to play down an Arceus? They are. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure there's a lot of value in the Arceus, but that's okay too. All right, so I have I think I want to take the have I played any boss this game? Let me just see. No, I have not. So do I want to So I think I will toss I'm going to Cheren's Care. Get him out of the way so he's safe. Attach there. I'm going to toss. All right, I'm going to put him down because no, I'm going to attach the V-Guard. And I will now Skwovet. They're down to 2 cards in hand. I like that too. So I obviously don't want to give them more cards. Path, okay, because I want to get Path back for sure. Okay, and obviously at this point, all I can do is attack, but that's all right. I'm down to 2 prizes remaining after this. See what happens. My big plus is they haven't taken a prize yet, right? So that's my big plus. They bump Path. You know, they bump Path at 1 turn. Now, I need to get the Skwovet evolved, right? The Lechonk evolved. My apologies. So I don't one-shot him. They know that, so that's okay for sure. So he does what? So they scooped. I was trying to decide what to do. I think I was going to attach DTE to my benched guy and then try to get my my other Lechonk evolved. So that game, I finally got a game where things worked and my opponent played, because I've had games with opponents not playing. So the deck, after playing it, after this last set of changes, look, it's a solid deck. I'm gonna say, in my opinion, a 260 HP Pokemon's still not that tanky. You want to go tanky, you probably need to, like play Blastoise EX, which is a stage 2 though, but the HP is much higher, and I think the extra HP and the damage reduction by its ability makes it much tankier than something like Oinkologne EX. It's just not quite tanky enough. Although at 290 now, you're not getting one shot by a ton of things. I guess the big problem with Oinkologne is the damage output's just too low, and the fact that under Heavy Stomp that it's doing 210 instead of 220 isn't good. You're also probably having a DTE attached when you do it, so you're even doing down to 190, and then there's a 50-50 chance you can't attack the next turn with it, and that's not good. So I think the damage output of Oinkologne is probably just not enough. You're not putting enough pressure on. Obviously, Cheren's Care is super good. You can use some Cheryl's too along the way. So, yeah, tanky enough. Not doing enough damage probably to make it a very viable deck. But, it's still fun to give the pig a try and see what you can get done. Take care.